Welcome to the Group Message Podcast. I'm your host, Carrie B. C Power, aka Statman, is in the building.
Yeah.
bleetheplug is in the building.
What's poppin', group people?
Hey, we in here. Behind the scenes, we got producer Carrie in the building. TradeMarcTV got us on screen.
Our guy, we appreciate you.
Absolutely. And we are the Group Message Podcast, man. How y'all doing?
Feeling good, man.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm feeling good too, man. It was I had a good day. We was chilling. Me and Carrie was chilling. Well, we was chilling hard.
Hey, all for good days, baby, especially in this shit.
Oh, absolutely, man. You gotta have good days in this.
Gotta take the W's
Yes.
as you can get them.
Got to.
I was outside today. I was outside in my backyard.
Y'all doing y'all work?
Nah, we was just walking around.
Young boy, I'm going outside today.
Hey, I was outside, but it was cool though because like we was on the back porch and it was cold, but it wasn't that cold where we couldn't chill outside because we chilled outside on the back porch, and cause we just got a futon outside on that back porch. It was cool. Had some hot chocolate. Had a good old time, man.
Pulled out the hammock, man.
No, we actually rolled the hammock up. We got a futon now, so we laid the futon down and goddamn was chilling on that, man.
Vibes.
We gotta clean that hammock. You know what I'm
Vibes.
saying? But yeah, it was a good day, man. It was a good day. Weekend, just chilling, man. Like the week went by fast. It seemed like week went by fast, and the weekends always go by fast. So you definitely gotta find time to just vibe out when you ain't, busy or whatever. Vibe out, chill, enjoy the day.
For sure.
Yeah.
The days have been rolling.
They have. We were about to be in February. We're at the end of January.
We just passed the 28. Shout out my daughter, Blythe, Plug's daughter. 6 months, half a year.
Damn, 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months, half a year.
Oh,
you
really?
feel me? Like, hey, best thing ever happened to me.
That's what's up, man. I saw you on your IG. You was like, she recognizing her name.
Yeah, she turning her head and stuff. She pulling up, so she growing fast. Like, that junk crazy. Like, you go to work too much in a week, you can miss out on something. So it's like, I'm thankful to be there and be. I can see her every day. That shit just, I don't know, that shit just, I took this kind of stuff for granted. I ain't never realized how important that stuff is. So shit's just dope to be there all the time and see the little stuff and the little progressions because they grow so fast. And everybody keeps saying they gonna grow. She'll be going to college. So I'm like, stop saying that. Like, that's my little girl. I need her to hold and all that. So, but yeah, that's my dog. Salute to Blythe. You get older, you check it out. Got a little cussing in it, but you'll be all right.
Hashtag girl dad.
Yeah, girl dad.
We got two girl dads up here.
Heck yeah, we got to link them up soon.
We definitely do.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah. Marie already been talking about it. We got to get them together.
It's time.
Cause how old is Leah?
Leah, what? It'll be 3 months. February. Yep, February 3rd. It's moving, man.
Moving.
It's moving.
We got that thing moving.
Shit,
Yeah, because around this time last year, we was in L.A. And, I mean, speaking of girl dad, we just passed the anniversary of the passing of Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, and then all the victims who was in that helicopter. So it's been a year since that. That's still crazy that
That was my last out of state.
Yeah.
I need another one, Jack. But
Before
after
they
the
shut it down.
pandemic, but after the panoramic, but yeah. But that was a dope trip, man.
Yeah, it was a dope trip.
All timer.
Yeah. And we were, and it's funny because when we were there, we were looking at a lot of the Asian people who were in LA at the time. They had on masks, and we was like, why? I was just thinking, like, why do they have on masks? I thought it was just something,
I do remember saying something about that. It was like by the Uber.
Yeah. They had on masks.
And I'm cracking jokes.
Yep.
Like it's funny. Like, nah, it's not funny.
They knew something we didn't know or we didn't realize at the time.
Wuhan.
They're like, y'all finna see real soon.
But yeah, everything it's moving, man. Like time is moving. Where is the music at though, man? The music hasn't been prevalent, especially so far since 2021. We really haven't gotten anything like from any artists. I don't know, bro.
Main guys have not been dropping.
They
Streets
haven't
been dropping, but the main guys have not.
Streets been dropping. I saw y'all sent that song from Pee Wee Longway.
Yeah, Long Way Sinatra, he dropped. Dirt dropped another one. I think that was like a week or two ago though, but
It just ain't really been
not the main guys. Main guys are not dropping.
Yeah, man. Y'all just think it's because of COVID, or primarily because of COVID?
That's what it got to be, right? I feel like they want to tour off of it. That's most likely what it is. So, all right, we can put this album out and we can make some money off that. But if you can't tour off of it, like, you might as well wait.
Whew. When is the tour gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna
start back up?
Next year? I don't think we see in concerts in 2021. I just don't.
Well, you'll see them in the South.
You think so?
Yeah, and then start back selling the Roxy. I mean, not hip hop
real?
artists, but yeah, socially distant concerts.
Absolutely.
How does that look, though?
Because I mean, even comedy clubs.
It looks spaced out. Everybody in their little pod of 4 people, whatever, and
then also too, you got to remember when it gets back warm and you can be outside. We're gonna be outside. They're gonna have people outside in those open venues and concerts. You know, they're gonna try to get them out. It's just not gonna be the Coachella type thing going on. Yeah. Festivals are probably gonna be not gonna be cracking for a while. But you know, concerts and even sporting events. They're gonna have people at Super Bowl.
But not a lot.
They're gonna have people though. That's the thing.
They give them 7,500 essential workers free tickets. I think they're gonna have like 20 something, 30.
30 total?
Mm-hmm.
In the stadium that probably hold what?
Like 60, something like that.
So you can spread that out.
Dude.
You can spread that out.
Shoot, the Hawks about to open it back up.
They not opened it back up.
Yeah. The Lakers on Monday.
They all in there?
In the building. Uh-oh.
Them priority seats. I mean, I want to go, but
we're going to be in the building.
There ain't but about 1,000 people in there. Most of them is season ticket holders or 2 chains and stuff like that.
Season ticket holders and 2 chains?
They ain't opened it up to where, I mean, some casual fans may be able to get in there, but it's still tight.
Carrie B will be in there.
Hey.
And I have the experience to share to the group people as well, so.
Do you think?
I'll let you know. I'm going to be, precautious and take all that stuff, but, it's time, man. You got to find your way to maneuver around and figure out things, and just can't live in the shell. I know we don't like living in shells. Get tired of that. But, I mean, staying in the crib and as far as streaming is going on, like, it's been prevalent from that aspect. We've been getting a lot of movies, shows to stream from the different platforms. Amazon Prime, HBO Max. It's been some good movies that's been coming out. Especially in January, they had like a stream, maybe not last week, but week before when they came out with One Night in Miami. American Skin came out. It was another one too. I'm not thinking about. Am I thinking about Outside the Wire?
Yeah, that's what you mentioned.
All 3 of those kind of came out around the same time, same week. They were good movies. Like, even One Night in Miami. Let's talk about that one. Because that movie was about Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke. Like, one night they had in Miami where they all met up in a hotel and kind of just, I guess, discuss, like, worldly things. Or Malcolm was trying to discuss worldly things. Maybe Sam Cooke wanted to go out and party after they finished doing whatever, because Muhammad Ali had fought after the fight. They came back to the hotel. They thought he was going to party, but
that was Sonny Liston fight, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all like that movie?
It was a good movie. I didn't know what to expect from it, but nah, it was dope. It was dope. I say some of the actors though, they could have cast like the way they look. Like Malcolm X, for example, like that shit didn't look like Malcolm X to me.
I mean, I don't know. He was
light skinned brother with glasses.
Yeah. I thought.
You know what I'm saying though?
Well, I didn't necessarily. I mean, I like the character they cast for Malcolm X. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he played a good Malcolm X, the best I've seen since Denzel.
He played it well. I'm not saying like the character. I'm just visually.
Oh, I mean, well, if you can be him.
You just talking about that presence. He ain't had that strength look for him. Yeah, he grew on me as it went over. But I get what you're saying. I was able to put. I get what you say. I was able to put all that back. That was one of my favorite movies. Like that'll be an all timer for me, just because the context of it and it was based off something true, and then just seeing that many people of power that were black men speaking like their truth, and even them getting into it like that stuff that we be going through. Like, and that was like me and my homeboys talking like, damn, like some must be feeling that way, some must be feeling this way. So to see them go at it, and then since I think that was last year or the year before that when I first saw that Sam Cooke documentary, but like
right,
Sam Cooke very overlooked in like black history. Like he don't never get no credit or nothing. Like even after I saw his first documentary, I asked my grandma about him. It was like, man, he used to be like on the hose or something. It was just like his mark. But when you see that documentary, then you see this, like he played a big role and he changed a lot of stuff, and being able to get his masters and stuff like that. Like, so I think that's why I like it so much, seeing Sam Cooke and seeing where he was going to that. Like, he was the least person I would have known 2 or 3 years ago. But even in the movie, like, Malcolm X, you the only one that don't belong. Like,
that was the thing, though. That was the thing for me too, B-Lee. It was like seeing them on a human level, relating into how we interact with each other, with your friends, and just like they were friends, and like they had different things going on with each other. They had different differences or whatever, like between them, and they played that out in that movie. It was just really, I was taken aback because even Malcolm X, like I never seen him in that light. Cause you always see Malcolm X as his presence in the time with the civil rights movement and what they were doing with the Nation of Islam and just his presence, but you didn't see him on a like a human aspect where somebody was trying him. Like Sam Cooke was trying, like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, look at me, Ali, or Cassius at the time, and Jim. Like, we doing it big. Like, what are you doing? Like, you the weak link, quote unquote, so to speak, as far as like the money and the fame aspect of it.
Brother, why are you always so angry?
So that was very intriguing to me to see the dynamic of their relationship in that aspect. I just thought it was a dope movie. Like, I agree with you. Even how they kind of introduced each character, like from Jim Brown point of view. Like, he went back and saw one of his old, I don't know who the man was, but
seemed like somebody that helped his family when they was younger.
I quote unquote help, because as you saw, like, when he offered to help him move the sofa, he was like, we don't let niggas in this house, Jim. And then he put him back. Like, he was propping him up like, oh yeah, you the great Jim Brown. I can tell my friend Jim Brown came by to see me. But when Jim tried to offer and help him move his sofa, he's like, oh nah, you a nigga. You're a nigger, excuse me. I forgot to put the ER on there.
That shit crazy though, cause like, only reason Jim went because his parents swore by dude, and they probably already know that kind of stuff. But still, like, that was one of the white people that helped us get out of what we was doing, to be able to do stuff for you to go to the NFL. But just even when that scene was just, that was like a lot of emotion, because it was like the physical, like, a lot of people will be like that, and it's black or white or whatever, it could be whatever, but like a lot of people in your face will be one way, but like the real shit is like, oh, hold on, like, yeah, we was cool, but not that cool. And it'd be like, really got
it
back. Yeah. Shit crazy though.
Yeah. I just like the dynamics of the different friends. You saw that Jim was kind of the mediator. He was like the person that Malcolm, like, man, you doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then Sam was like because Malcolm was on this end, Sam was on that end, and then I guess you can say like Jim and Muhammad Ali were kind of closer in the middle. Y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
Just as far as views, compassion, like extreme as far as like Malcolm was like, man, you could be doing so much more, Sam, with your music and moving the people, versus as Sam was like, I own all my shit. Like, I'm doing this and I employ people, black people. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, they were on the extremes, and I guess Cassius and Jim Brown was kind of the mediators of the situation.
Yeah, from that aspect, then Jim was closer to Sam and Ali was closer to Ali, like from that middle standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So that was a good
Jim
movie.
said, I ain't giving up them white hoes.
But it was almost like they were in the beginning, because in the beginning scenes when Sam was with or whatever, I don't know if that was his lady or his wife or his fiance, whatever she was. I almost tried to act like they were trying to play Sam Cooke to be like maybe gay or something. The way they played that scene.
I never got that.
Just because the only reason I got it because they had him holding on to his guitar so much, and she was like, you know, in her lingerie and stuff. I thought and he was like grasping it. I don't know. Maybe that was just me that I saw, but
Musician, man, love his music.
hell yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, dope movie.
Dope movie. American Skins was dope as well. Movie with Nate Parker. He produced that he put out on Amazon Prime. I saw that. That was a dope concept. It was appropriate for the scene. It was basically about a father who lost his son in a traffic stop. A cop killed him. And it went through the whole thing. Like, cop killed him. They didn't charge the cop. They went to the mom to say, they were riding. They went to the mom to tell them, like, stop the violence. It played out that whole scene. But what really happened was, like, after all of that, like, his father, who was Nate Parker, like, they took matters into their own hands. So they played it from that aspect, where they just took over the police precinct with guns. Him and some of his ex-Army members went in there and then just did their own justice. Basically, they got their own justice for the most part. So it was kind of cool to see it from that aspect. Then along that, they had like a high school, like mass communications, like whatever, filming the whole thing. They were doing a project. So that was an interesting movie. That was an interesting concept. And that was like, because you had a, like, what if the tables were turned? Like, what if black people went to the Capitol and stormed it with all those guns? What would happen? It was kind of like the flip of that.
Yeah, it was definitely a dope movie. It was just crazy. It just showed you all perspectives. Like, there was a lot of raw moments of people, like, saying what they believe, like, and people not knowing, like, you saying that, you feeling like that's how you feel, you saying some real shit, but that shit's racist.
Yeah.
You don't receive the brunt of that, but, like, after I get you to unpeel all this shit you trying to cape for, like, why'd you pull us over? Because black people come through this neighborhood, and normally if they're in that kind of car, they're up to no good.
So you was profile.
Profile. You just said all that shit to cape for it, but you was profile.
Yeah.
But yeah. I wanted to, on that one night in Miami, I did want to give a shout out to Kemp Powers, who wrote it. He also was one of the co-directors on Soul too. So, bruh, it's real dope. Yeah.
Wow.
So look,
Soul was a
Kemp
great
Powers. Movie. Exactly. Like, he dropped big 2021 for bruh, but salute to bruh. I think he did some stuff on Star Trek too, but Kemp Powers, salute to him. Regina King had something to do with One Night in Miami as well. So.
Regina King was the director.
Yeah.
Yeah, Regina King was the director. She did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even when I discovered that Regina King was doing Boom Doc, and she was Riley and Huey, like, I was like, oh wow, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's real dope. So shout out to her.
Yeah, she's always been one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, man. Yeah. In all the roles that she played, because yeah, she's very I think she's underrated.
Yeah.
100%.
She plays it. I just like, cause I'm very big on girl next door stop type. Like she plays them kind of stuff good, and to see her going into leveling up, directing and stuff like that.
Getting behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Absolutely.
She been around this long for a reason.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
She been in the game for a long time.
long time.
And has transitioned from in front of the camera to behind the camera. You don't really see that happen a lot.
Nah, you don't.
And people be like successful in that aspect. So that's tremendous for her to do that. And shout out to her. But just the streaming aspect, because Disney Plus, you talk about Soul, that was a great movie. I think I saw something about Soul as far as the streams, like 1 billion streams, and Jamie Foxx being the lead actor.
Man, that's the first time. It was like the first time Disney has done something with a black lead in like cartoons. That shit crazy.
And wow. Yeah.
Shit crazy.
Yeah. And even HBO Max now, because HBO Max is doing something to where they are, like they're still putting out movies in theaters, but they're doing it like simultaneously. So when a movie drop in theaters is dropping on HBO Max. So they recently, this Friday, they dropped the Little Things with Denzel Washington starring in it. It dropped in theaters and it dropped on HBO Max. They're doing the same thing with that movie about Fred Hampton with Judas and the Black Messiah. It's going to drop in February in theaters and on HBO Max. They got some more movies that's doing that. So they kind of getting into that streaming where, people are not necessarily going to movie theaters no more because of the whole pandemic. And they need to be in theaters, the movies do, to, I guess, qualify for Oscar or Academy Award nominations. But they know that people are at home and streaming, so HBO Max has kind of got into that market to where they're, doing the simulcast with those movies dropping and having them on their platform, which I think is good.
It's needed. Like, the future's here. Like, the future is here. Like, especially with HBO. HBO kind of already, like, I was gonna have HBO Max regardless. But realistically, ain't too many theaters gonna make it after this. AMC still think they gonna make it. We gonna see. But it's easier to stream, just like with music.
Yeah.
Just having that access, I feel like you make more money that way.
I still see people at the Red Box, though. Yeah. I was in the grocery store earlier today, and I saw somebody looking, how people like looking at the Red Box like, damn, what movie I'm going to get? I'm like, damn, people are still getting movies out the Red Box?
When that shit first dropped, it was a line at them hoes, though.
It was. But, like, who will use it? When the last time you used a DVD?
But you always know it's people that that stick with the old stuff. It's people that still don't want to pay their bills electronically and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's going to always be a few. But is it enough to keep you to survive?
I guess Redbox is surviving because they still in Kroger's.
Let's give it some time.
Yeah, they on their last leg. We looking at Redbox users like dinosaurs. Now, like, hey, I just saw a nigga using the Redbox yesterday.
Exactly.
Shit, no, there's gonna be nobody over there, man.
They probably ain't got no kid to tell them, like, hey, we ain't got to do that no more.
Download it right here. Like, I download all my movies. I rent all my movies online, too. Because, like, you can just go on Amazon. Or if you got a PlayStation Network, rent a movie for 2 days.
$5.99.
Yep. For no more than $10.
Yeah.
Brand new movie, like, you ain't got to touch no disc.
All the apps.
Right up your alley.
You in there, bro. You in there.
Stat man.
The thing about the pandemic, you gonna adjust or die. It sped up a lot of stuff people had in the works. People were already trying to plan 5 years out. This is where we need to be, but with the pandemic, like
It
5 years turns into 1 year now, or we won't make it.
It accelerated the process.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they had to adjust. Companies definitely had to adjust on how they release and market. So I guess the music industry. Oh well, of course the music industry is adjusting. I mean, Verzuz is a product of that as well. Mm-hmm. Did y'all watch the Verzuz, Keisha Cole?
I watched some of it, not
and
all of it.
Ashanti. Yeah.
What you gotta say about it?
It was
Garbage.
Yeah,
Say it again.
I was disappointed.
Shit was terrible. Shit was terrible.
Yeah.
You can't postpone something 3 times, then show up again. I know the other ones, it always started late, but like if you gonna postpone it 3 times, show up late, then the sound was shoddy. Y'all went in the same room because of COVID. So then again, we done already determined in Verzuz, it's the best when you're in the same room. So y'all went backwards doing it. It even got to the point where Switch Beats was in the comments like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit was bad.
But Verzuz did something else too. They went on the sports.
Got another chick.
They went on the sports side of it because they had their first Verzuz between athletes with AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson.
Who won?
AJ Brown to me won. You won because it was about highlights. So what they were doing was they were going toe to toe. They were showing their best highlights for the past season.
How many did they show? Like 10?
Yeah, 10. They did 10 rounds, and I mean Justin Jefferson had the better season because he was all pro. But when you look at highlights, AJ Brown had better highlights because AJ Brown had highlights where he was breaking it for 60 yards and 50 yards and dragging people into the end zone with him. Like Justin Jefferson, you know, his is more of a surgical type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's running a route tree or whatever. AJ Brown is like manhandling players, you know what I'm saying, to get to where he wants. He's just a freak athlete like that. So, of course, on the highlight aspect, his highlight's going to be better. But it was cool because they had Deion, they had Maurice Drew helping them out because they needed helping them out because, you know, they're young players, you know, and they're still getting acclimated to the whole media aspect of it. So they're not, you know, as polished as you would think. So having Deion their prime and then Maurice Drew to help facilitate it, I think was a good idea. And then also too, they brought in like Instagram comedians. They had Desi Banks and Hi Davis in there. They kind of, you know, keep it up. I thought it was pretty cool. They actually did it with the defense as well. I didn't watch that one because I'm not like about to watch no defense highlights. It's not. You got to get in the end zone, man.
Yeah, we ain't trying to see that.
But Verzuz is diversifying their portfolio. They're getting into sports and see what that lane looked like. It definitely wasn't as many views as the music aspect. Because you saw, like, I think Keisha Cole's and Ashanti, even though we didn't like it, they did numbers with the views. And the Verzuz was like 12,000. I saw on Instagram with the sports. So, you know.
I ain't mad at it. I just want them to, like, I feel like it should never be Ashanti and Keisha Cole. Like, it's too many other options for us to go with. Like, I like it when the Verzuz was more like legends, if you know what I'm saying.
So Fab and Jadakiss?
I feel like they are legends within New York, within their regions.
Well, Ashanti, to her credit, was like one of the pillars for Murder Inc.
Where we put Murder? Where we ranking Murder Inc. on? Like, if you're looking at labels just historically, where you put Murder Inc.?
Murder Inc. did their thing, man. They had Ja Rule, like Irv Gotti.
I think of a lot of better labels than Murder Inc. is what I'm saying. A lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the best one to put up an argument for Murder Inc. But I feel like they made a mark when they were hidden.
No, they did. Like, they had a moment. They had a moment. I feel like 50 killed their entire label, which makes me shit. Like, that's why I was like, really, is that label what you think it is? Think about it, though. 50 killed Ja Rule and the rest of Murder Inc., it was a rap from there. Once 50 got Ja Rule out of there, it was a rap. Where a great label, though, like, that's not going to happen.
But Ashanti, you said so. Ashanti and Keisha Cole, you think it was?
I'm just saying, they not legends, bro. Like, they are not legends, and I feel like Verzuz is better served when you're looking at legends. Like, even when you look at the discography of Keisha Cole and Ashanti, like, they don't have that number Like sometimes, like we've been looking at verses and we've been mad that certain songs have not been played. I don't think with Keisha Cole and Ashanti, like they grabbing everything, even some stuff like you ain't even heard before. Like, okay, I guess I remember this. Like I heard this once before, but it's not. I don't know. Like I just feel like
I agree. I just think our opinion's jaded.
What you mean, jaded how?
Cause it's some of them real rap battles, some of the rap ones, like the ladies don't be knowing all them shits, the deep cuts and stuff like that, cause we listen to the whole album. They felt like that with Ashanti and Keisha Cole, cause they know the deep cuts and stuff like that. That's their shit, so they still had some like play this, play this, play this. But us, we just know the ones that hit the radio. We ain't going to listen to them albums of Keisha Cole, especially Keisha Cole. I mean, again, I tuned in, but like I'm not listening to no album of Keisha Cole bashing men. Like that's never gonna happen.
And it ain't even the content. Keisha Cole can't really sing to me. Like when you hear, even on the clips I heard from the verses, bro, Keisha Cole singing is not the move. Bro.
People,
you can put some on the album with enough mixing and stuff. I listen to Future sing on the album. Again, I'm not gonna listen to a whole album of you bashing men.
You should be harmonized, man. I don't care what you talking about.
But that's my thing. But I think they got that. It was good if they would have did it. Like I was excited the first time. Everybody was excited the first time. Then it got canceled. Then it got postponed again. Then y'all showed up an hour and a half late with no chemistry. And Keisha Cole looked like she had a whole attitude. She came late and still had an attitude. Yeah. I tuned out before she brought OT Genesis on. He came out for Keisha Cole.
That love.
Yeah.
He sang it.
Yeah, he was singing.
I guess this was their first time. I thought the beef was still going on.
Because she was mad at it. Yeah, you can't be mad.
I mean, he was going there hard, though. He was doing the most.
Because she was tripping.
That's fine.
At first, he did the remake out of, it was no disrespect. And she took it that way. So.
I mean, but anytime you touch somebody's song, like, you need to get permission.
100%. But it helped her.
Ella May.
That's fine. Anytime you touch somebody's song, if you gotta get permission, whether they do that or not. Like if somebody feel upset, like that's their song. And then start clowning. He was going mad hard on her though.
He was.
But I'm glad they squashed it.
That's Twitter conversations with B. Lee and C Power.
You didn't know they was beefing?
No, I didn't know that.
Cicely, R.I.P.
Absolutely. R.P. Cicely Tyson. It's been kind of spooky. Well, not necessarily spooky. Well, yeah, spooky.
Man, last week I think it was last week before Hank Aaron died. I told my coworker, I said, it seems like somebody die every day, and then boom, 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 even faster than it was coming before. It's damn near like we get numb to it.
It's a lot of
Some of my old
elderly people passing away during this pandemic that we're taking note of. And like I said, anytime I talk about COVID or Corona, I always say this was put on us. This was put on us. I believe that. This just didn't pop up out of nowhere. I don't believe that bullshit. I don't think this just popped up out of nowhere. But, so, I don't, and it attacks elderly people. So, like, we're seeing the effects of that play out, even with, like, the famous people that we know. And, it's tough. It's tough. It's sad to see. Because even in maneuvering and moving around through this pandemic is like, should I go see my auntie? Should I go see my grandmama? Should I go see my grandfather? Like, it's like you plan that, like, where have I been? Where am I going? You know what I'm saying? Like, would that affect them? You got to think about things like that because it's real. Like, people are dying. People are dying.
And even with that, like, some people just dying. Like, it's just their time, like, normal. But, like, now, if you die right now, it's like, damn, COVID. Like, you get sick right now, COVID.
Yeah, because
like,
people are asking, like, what's going on? Like,
yeah.
what's happening? Like, is it because of COVID?
Oh, you got the vaccine, then you die because of the vaccine. Like, it's only 2 ways to die now.
Oof. Yeah, that's true.
But some folks, it's just their time to die. And shit, mental strain and all this shit. It ain't just because the corona. This shit causing all kind of other shit.
Straight up.
Straight up. Straight up. So, breathe in, breathe out. Do the chicken head, go on, let it out. No. Don't take yourself too serious.
Yeah. Another thing that happened this week that I was a little late to, but it was pretty big. Like Robinhood. What's going on with Robinhood?
I mean, what we talked about, like Robinhood, it's more so. If y'all are familiar with stocks, GameStop. Like everybody knows what GameStop is. GameStop has been tanking for a while now. But you just had a group of people within Reddit who were able to inflate the price of GameStop. They were basically upset that some of these hedge fund people that basically, long story short, you got hedge fund people and people that basically set scores on these stocks that they're invested in as well. Mm-hmm. So it's like they make determinations based off these stocks, and they also have money in, so then they can also impact the decisions they make. And so a group of people I've read it who just wanted to point that shit out. Like it was kind of on some vigilante type shit. Like, we gonna artificially inflate the value of GameStop today.
Well, for what I've been seeing, so Robinhood, I guess, kind of limited or didn't allow people to like participate in maybe buying a certain stock, GameStop or whatever, and people were furious about that shit.
Yeah. And people were upset about it, but I think a big thing for me is just you got to look at all sides of it when you look at Robinhood and the way that they shut it down to protect their people. And it's kind of funny because like me and P, we talked about it the weekend before because you start hearing the rumors of like, hey, something about to happen with GameStop. So we were contemplating whether or not if we were going to buy some options on it. And we both are like, man, we not fuck with this, man. But Robinhood, I do think they were trying to protect people. Because when you look at Robinhood, most people that I know with Robinhood accounts are people that they're not heavy in the stock space. Robinhood is what you use for people that are more casually trading. And you just get in and you buy. Like if you look at most of the portfolios of people in Robinhood, it's going to be very well known. Brands, companies, things such as that. So when you're dealing with things such as short squeezes, like these aren't normal things that happen in the market.
What's a short squeeze?
A short squeeze is basically where a group of people basically take advantage of large groups of people that short a particular stock. And when you short a particular stock, that's basically saying that you're betting on the price of that to go down. So what happens in the short squeeze is if those people that are betting on it to go down, if anything happens like for GameStop, for example, a major player pulled out and it reduced the number of shares outstanding. So now all the people in this Reddit group are able to just buy it, pump as much money you can into it, and inflate the price. But all of those people that were shorting it, either you're going to lose because the price is going up, because remember, you betting on it to go down. So the only way, if you really are trading in a traditional sense, the only way you can limit their losses, now you got to buy it.
Okay.
But then if you buy it, the people that are squeezing you, they just make even more money. So they're basically daring these big institutions and these big hedge fund managers to basically say, either take this L or
take this L.
Take this L. Or we going to make this money. One of the two. Either we going to make this money and you going to lose, or
take this L or take this bigger.
Well, it was people like putting out videos like Robinhood needs to go to jail. Like they need to be criminally charged about the shit they were doing.
It wasn't just Robinhood though. It was a few of them, and then it got to a point where all of them started losing. So when stuff like that happened, it throws off the whole stock market. Mm-hmm. So then that's why the government started getting involved in everything. Like so, then they basically tried to slow down people buying the stock because again, it's inflating that so much, and then your people that got money elsewhere, your big people that really move the stock market, your hedge funds and stuff like that, they losing billions of dollars. While these people that's using $20, $50, $70, yeah, it's a bunch of them now, and they going up there, but you don't know how they money gonna go. We keep our money in the stock market.
And the hedge fund people control like people's long-term retirement investment.
Yeah, and even Robinhood came out and they was like, let's be distinct. Like, we're a brokerage company. Robinhood is a wing of what we do, but like we didn't get any input or stuff like that. But like some people know, like that they link with like a Citadel and stuff like that, and that's how the Mets owner got involved. So then they start calling out people that y'all linked to and who help y'all get money, and then they start trying to say that y'all didn't have the capital to do this. Y'all ain't have the liquid cash to make all these transfers happen. So that's why y'all start limiting us. So then that's why now it's like, but it's the other side of it. They like, nah, y'all upset because this happened.
So who do we believe?
They gonna make sure that shit's for everybody to be involved is fucking up the big shit. So now they gonna vet the Robin Hood shit, but they also gonna get to a point where they look at them groups and stuff like that, and they can start trying to. It may not be a charge now, but like they can't do that. The big dogs can't do that like y'all did that, because then it's insider trade. So they gonna find out a way to be like, all right, y'all did that, but they gonna start trying to put limits around that shit somehow.
Yeah,
because that shit'll throw off everything. You can't have this shit happening every day.
and to me, it's not a matter of who you believe or who telling the truth.
Okay.
It's more so just people got to know their lane. Like, to be honest, like should Robinhood have restricted that shit and shit? The other brokerage companies, no. Like, I feel like the approach they should have took was like, hey, I would put out a memo and say I would advise y'all to leave this alone. This is very complex trading. And don't touch it. But if you choose to touch it, hey, like if niggas want to lose their money, they can lose their money. But realistically, like, when you look at how GameStop blew up, the first day they had went up to like 148, and then by the end of the day they went right back to where they started, right? But then what happened the next day? Now it started making its rounds on social media, and now you have the more casual traders who they're just like, oh shit, you can make money off GameStop, and that's when it just started inflated to this 400. But it's still artificially inflated. So what Robinhood is thinking is like, hey, we got a lot of people who gonna come on here and just see, oh shit, GameStop is going up. They're just seeing the increase, not necessarily realizing that at some point it has to come down. So now if we have a lot of users who gonna come in here on Robinhood and just see the hype on GameStop and buy it without realizing like, hey, this shit is at its peak.
They said they did that shit. They said they did that shit before the day. They knew it the day. They knew the 12 companies where all this kind of shit was going to happen, and they restricted all them shit.
It was out there. Like, it was out there. It was in the Reddit. The Reddit is public knowledge. Like, you can go into the Reddit and see exactly the stocks they were targeting.
And that's what I think they tried to do, to take the place of, like, we do this shit all the time. Like, this is normal operations is what he said. Like, they know when stuff like that happen, and it may be restrictions on certain stocks within their app. So, but that shit just gonna be interesting as more comes out. But like you said, that's what the thing is. Like, now they starting to have an equate. That's why all this shit, everything that's a system, this social media shit is attacking systems. This shit is attacking systems. Yeah. And that shit is changing shit. They having to adapt. And not just with a simple law. Like, that shit
seems like the and then one of the systems is like up front when you talk about just the whole money aspect, like the currency. Like the dollar.
They stopped letting, my boy just said, they stopped letting them they won't let you pull cryptocurrency deposits.
Yeah. With their Dogecoin, because that's another one that they're trying to artificially inflate. It's like Elon Musk is in on Dogecoin. Like, yeah, I tried to go in my wallet. I tried to go a couple of places. Like, man, let me play around with Dogecoin.
And it's like it's literally nothing, right?
It's like.
Is Dogecoin a currency?
Right now. Like 10 cents. It's a crypto, yeah.
It's a cryptocurrency?
Yeah, but it was like considered like, it was a very low value crypto. It's like a startup crypto. Like when you think of penny stocks, that's the type of crypto that you were dealing with Dogecoin.
Got you. But even just the aspect of the dollar, like that institution versus cryptocurrency, like we're starting to see a lot more people invest in cryptocurrency and really believe in cryptocurrency versus what we have with that dollar. You know, there's a lot of people saying that, like, if you just have your money sitting in the bank, you know, which we know, like that dollar value is getting, like, depreciated. Like, you sitting in that bank, if you don't have it working or actually in certain different investments, like, you're losing the value of your dollar if you just have it sitting in the bank. You know what I'm saying? And they're looking at a lot of these cryptocurrencies, and you talk about Bitcoin is the biggest one. It's like it's more valuable because of demand and the supply of it.
They just gotta learn how to stabilize it. That shit too volatile.
It's gonna stay that way.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's for the past dollar. They got to stabilize a little more.
Yeah. I don't see that happen. I don't.
You think the like Harriet Tubman being on $20 bill gonna help?
Get these Tubmans.
Tubs.
I only want to be paid in Tubmans when these Tubmans are released.
I want 150 in 20s. 210s. Yeah, man, it's getting interesting, man. You gotta pay attention, and things are changing. Things are changing. Like, the world is changing. We were just talking about it, even with streaming, physical DVDs, CDs. You don't hear the man. You don't hear the dude coming into the barbershop no more. CDs, DVDs. That's not going on.
Nah, it's dead. That's
So,
dead.
the world is changing.
I want people to acknowledge when you're part of the system too. That's the other thing when they rap that shit for me. Just acknowledge when you're part of the system. Because a lot of people are like, they bad, like, oh, the hedge fund people are the people that, that's the only reason they changed it. But a lot of people don't realize, like, your retirement accounts are. You vested with these same people that's trying to tell you, like, hey, this shit is fucking us up.
People don't look at their retirement.
But that's what I'm saying, though. And, like, if a lot of people go look at your 401k, like, if you got an aggressive 401k with an aggressive target, you probably down right now because they probably short at GameStop. So it's like you got some people that are, like, fighting against your own interests, like.
Oh, I ain't aggressive.
And it's crazy. Mine is aggressive. So as soon as I peeked in, I was like, yeah, I know mine red. And sure enough, that shit was red for these few days. It be like that.
Yeah.
At least you ain't got to go buy GameStop back.
Just let the cars fall as they may.
It will. Them folks lost billions. That shit crazy.
What we got for the plug of the week?
And now, the plug of the week. From who? The plug. Who? bleetheplug.
Y'all hit. You know what's coming. What's going on, people? It's bleetheplug. Had to get y'all plugged in. You know, I'm gonna keep uplifting us, and I'm gonna keep acknowledging the uplifting that's coming our way. So I originally started this plug. I saw something, and the headline was Apple's support for HBCUs expands with new AUC Propel Center. So basically, from what I was saying, it was like Apple was putting resources into the black community, but they're gonna use the HBCU epicenter to be the home of it. So then I was like, all right, it's the same group and all that and stuff like that.
Money.
But as I dug deeper, I realized like they just put the resources in. The concept came from a ed form organization, and they basically had the idea where they want to basically have a bubble of like just innovation, cultivation, and basically anything that is come from that, all HBCUs will have access to it. So you can send your students here. They'll have an on-site campus, but then they'll have a virtual section as well.
Okay.
But they'll basically build out. So Apple, I think, donated like a couple $100 million or something into it. But basically just
$100 million.
Yeah. So it was a lot. So the Propel Center would basically be a physical and virtual campus. Imagine it designed by ed form to provide HBCUs with shared services to support their work of preparing leaders who improve the world. So 101 HBCUs will connect with the brightest minds in the world, global opportunities, so not just USA. And then they'll also have, like, again, they just had, like, Spike Lee will be involved, Jack Ma, Lisa Jackson, so they'll have a lot of upstanding people within the entertainment community that'll have a part into it as well. So
That's dope.
very good stuff. And then just along with that, so Hank Aaron passed, but they will get into that. But they did the Hank Aaron Fund, and it's gonna be $2 million for getting more blacks in baseball, getting more people of color, shall I say, minorities, to be able to have more opportunities in baseball. I mean, again, you black, so you fall into that. So we have to attack those opportunities. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
So we got that, and then it'll be $2 million, and you can be able to access that to get them in the front office as well on the business and baseball operations side. So again, a lot of money is coming through this and all that happening stuff. A lot of money is coming. Just like when I was in school, I didn't listen, kids, so I didn't fill out no scholarship stuff. I mean, I got a sports one and an academic one, but I didn't go fill out the extra scholarships. Go fill out that stuff. Go get those grants to go to schools and stuff. People will pay you to learn. Go do it. It'll take you out of here. Go. If somebody will pay you to learn, you good at learning, go get that money because it's out here.
Go get that money because it's out here. Like, that needs to be said again. I'm glad you said that. Go get that money because it's out here. So, yeah, if you feel like that's not going to matter, it does matter. It definitely matters. Go get that money because it's out there.
And it's an environment. You can put yourself in an environment of people that look like you, but like be like, dang, you talk like me, but like you know some other stuff, and you can, dang, like yeah.
You can unlock a key that I've been trying to unlock and I didn't know how to.
Yeah, instead of being around some people that don't like me because I don't want to keep doing the same old dumb stuff.
Yeah. That was the plug of the week, ladies and gentlemen. The group people. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we're going to get into sports, of course. So keep it locked on the Group Message Podcast. Welcome back to the Group Message Podcast. We're on the second half. About to get into these sports topics. Shout out to the group people, as always, for tuning in, subscribing. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube. Hit that button. Make sure y'all follow us on IG at the Group Message Pod, Twitter, Group Message Pod, Facebook, the Group Message. Shout out to all the brands out there. Shout out to St. Cruz brand. Shout out to Will, Antoinette. You know, they hold that down. Mm-hmm. Underdog, of course.
Salute.
You know what
Both
I'm saying?
of them.
Friday Night Spikes. You know, Pack United. List goes on, man.
On and on.
Yeah, we're going to be showing out. We're going to be showing up
on.
and showing out on this show, so y'all pay attention and see what we're doing. But we are on the second half. We're getting into sports. A lot of things been moving around in sports, basketball, football, and even baseball as well. Trades, free agency, current leagues, the end of a league, Super Bowl, starting up spring training soon. So it's just a lot going on in sports. But being from Atlanta, being from Georgia, we have to talk about the passing of Hank Aaron. You know, what Hank Aaron meant to like Atlanta sports and just sports in general is transcendent. It's legendary, man. And recently he passed not too long ago, I think a week ago, and that was like whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like Hank Aaron passed, like what he's meant to baseball, what he's meant to Major League Baseball, and what he's just meant to baseball being a black man, like it's like you can't really describe it. It's tremendous. Almost to the point where like for me, Hank Aaron is really like the greatest player of all time. What he is able to accomplish in like sports, like, and what he's just meant to like Major League Baseball, like it's a lot, man.
Yeah. That's like Hank Aaron, man. That's different, man. I just respect Hank Aaron for everything that kind of he stood for, especially like just racism in sports and all of that. On top of just seeing how we embraced Hank Aaron in Atlanta, man, it was different. It was different being a black kid as a Braves fan and with Hank Aaron. Like some people still consider Hank Aaron like the home run champ now. I don't know, man. And Hank Aaron has always been graceful with like that shit as well, though. Like with the success he's done nothing. That's all it's been from day one, bro. It's just straight grace and just be great, bro.
The epitome of class.
Yeah. Some people God put on this earth and it's a force. You feel me? It was only meant for all that was going through and the black man was just coming up. I saw a chart the other day and it was like showing like the home runs as they matriculated through MLB, but just to see, you feel white, and they going back and forth. And then you start seeing a black fan come up there, and he just taking off and separating from their ass. and just see Hank swing. But then it's just even him on the field is just half. I don't even know if it's half. That's just what he was known for, his philanthropy through his foundation. I done went to like one of his dinners and stuff, and they giving away $millions to kids and stuff. That's why the Braves did the foundation, because that's all he did was give the kids. Him and his wife, Billy Aaron, they just poured it into kids. And if you looked at his memorial service, you can see like some of the kids, the people that was over the foundation and stuff coming to talk about it and just saying like how humble. And I come across Hank Aaron like a couple of times and had to tell him like the Ravens score, you feel me? That's what he tell me. What's up, young buck? What's the Ravens score? Who win it? You feel me? And the last thing really he said to me, last time I saw him, he walked by me, he was like, somebody else was telling him that I was like, I be doing a good job. I'm very hospitable, da-da-da-da-da. And he was like, keep going, young man. And that was like the last time I had saw him.
Wow.
Well, yeah, just a great man, just a legend, man. He's so grace, but he was so real, too. Like, I've seen people say, like, he'll have a moment where, like, he'll talk to a regular guy and be like, look how many black people in this room. About 4 of us. The rest of these folks white. You got a job to do.
They had a quote with Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali said, the only other man I idolized beside myself was Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
And it's just his impact in sports, not just baseball, but just in sports in general, is definitely felt. And, you know, he would definitely be missed and remembered and honored for what he's accomplished in this game and what he's accomplished as a man. And I think that's the biggest part to what B. Lee was speaking about, just him as a man and what he's able to impact different people. It just speaks to him.
Still the MLB leader in RBIs and total bases. Still.
Yeah. Still. So, R.I.P. Hank Aaron.
20-some All-Stars, man. Man was a baller. Don't play with him. Don't
Gold
play with
glove.
him. Gold glove.
Like, it's just so much more. Like, it's really, like, to the point where, like, he almost could be slick, underrated as a baseball player.
As a GOAT, period.
As a GOAT, period. Like, when people talk about that GOAT word and what comes down to it, like, like Hank Aaron is that. You know what I'm saying? So, rest in peace, Hank Aaron. Definitely. Even for Atlanta, man, it means so much more to how he affected all the franchises. You know, that we got. So, salute to Hank Aaron, man. And just like even in this pandemic, we lost a lot of people. I mean, we seen like John Chaney pass recently, like what he meant for college basketball. Sports at, you know, being a long time Temple head coach. Mm-hmm. Even just seeing the whole, because, you know, when they go through the coach's sound bites press conference mm-hmm. when he was trying to fight John Calipari, mm-hmm. you know, stuff like that. And then having Temple as a powerhouse. We lost somebody as well who was well known in Atlanta, Sekou Smith, mm-hmm. a writer, you know, NBA analyst. Like, he was big in the NBA community. So it's just been names after names, you know, showing up, you know, just with the, you know, past and, you know, with the dates from this date to that date. It's been tough to see, man. It's been tough to kind of grasp and handle. And it's real.
So real. So real.
It's really happening out here, man. So, you know, you just got to acknowledge what people mean to other people, the impact that they have, you know, for other people. Yeah, how you impact people as you live is major. So just keep in mind, in that, and you know, and try to live your life to impact people in a great way. So, but moving on, in sports, of course, football is now we got the two teams that we know now who's going to face off in the Super Bowl. We got Tampa Bay Bucks and Kansas City Chiefs, so we know that. But before that happened, you know, we had the NFC championship games. We had the AFC championship games. And coming into it in the NFC, I felt like this was a big game for Aaron Rodgers. It was a big game for Aaron Rodgers. He was going against Tom Brady, like for the first time in the playoffs. And for me, it just, like, the way that Aaron Rodgers was having this season, MVP season, I think he's going to be named the MVP. I think a lot of people think he's going to be MVP of this past season and what he was trying to do. And really, from a legacy standpoint, I think Aaron Rodgers still has something to prove to get another ring. And for Green Bay Packers, for him to fall short, I think for the people who consider Aaron Rodgers to be the greatest quarterback of all time, they need to take a back seat now. I mean, even before that, they probably could have took a back seat. But now, definitely, because if you calling this man, better than Tom Brady, you can't do that. I'm sorry, you can't do that. You can't do that, man. Man just lost to him. And I get it. Brady had 3 interceptions or whatever. And it ain't even really about Brady performance. It's more about what Aaron Rodgers wasn't able to do in that game to just let me know, like, I can't put you up there with that man. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I mean, I'll argue that. I was never the person putting Aaron Rodgers on that pedestal anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's people out there putting him on that pedestal.
Yeah, I mean, that's not. Tom Brady at this moment is considered the GOAT. Like, he done been to 10 Super Bowls.
He's in the category of his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I'm not a Tom Brady fan. Nobody up here is really a Tom Brady fan. Niggas despise the Patriots and what they were able to accomplish because they cheated along the way.
Yes.
I get what people saying from a talent standpoint. I mean, I guess I can get what people saying from a talent standpoint. If you say that's the best quarterback you've seen play, because he can do stuff on the field. It's amazing. You feel me? Like,
he definitely can do things on the field with his arm and with his feet that Tom Brady can't do.
Yes. So
There's a lot of quarterbacks
that,
who can do that.
That's what I'm saying. They can do some of that stuff and ain't as good as Aaron Rodgers. So for him to have that all together, that is really good. But even like Peyton Manning, like I would take Peyton Manning over Aaron Rodgers. Like Peyton Manning changed the game.
Yeah.
Like them folks started backing up 20 yards on Peyton Manning. Like that was the first time we seen safeties do like that. You feel me? Peyton was killing folks in his prime. You feel me? He lost to the Patriots a couple times, so he ain't even got to worry about that argument with Aaron Rodgers because we both got a Super Bowl. So then it's just, yeah, he can do all that, but I can see Peyton do that shit at a way higher clip, and like where it get to a point where it's like we ran into Peyton, except for the Patriots. That was the only team that could beat him.
Yeah. Yeah. I just coming into the season, the whole draft process off season where they drafted the quarterback, the Packers drafted the quarterback, and we were speculating and trying to figure out how long does Aaron Rodgers really have with the Green Bay Packers. And then them drafting Jordan Love seems like it sparked a fire under Aaron Rodgers, and he had one of his best seasons that he ever had. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of worked out for him, but it slick didn't because they end up losing in the game to get to the Super Bowl. So where do the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers go from here?
Resign. I mean, you already know, like, Aaron Rodgers is resigned. They're not going to let Aaron Rodgers walk.
Why did they draft Jordan? I mean,
he under contract.
Yeah, he's under contract, right? So I think right now he's like 5th as far as like pay rate amongst quarterbacks. So he might not be happy about that because I was the best quarterback this year in the regular season, so I need to, renegotiate. But if you're renegotiating at this point in time, then what are really the options? Like, what do you think the Packers are going to do? They be like, nigga, you got that contract.
That wouldn't be.
I don't think it's.
That wouldn't be smart.
I don't think he even in that. I think it's just they just unsure because y'all drafted that quarterback last year. So when y'all gonna go to him?
Y'all sure he under contract though?
Yeah.
Because from what I've been hearing is like he has been basically saying like there's no guarantee that he's gonna be in Green Bay. So I don't know if maybe he got an option.
He's saying there's no guarantee because there's no telling what they'll do. He's putting the pressure on them because y'all might be non-committal on y'all quarterback. Y'all might trade me because y'all just drafted a quarterback in the first round. So I'm not talking for y'all. So y'all can go to him at any point. Y'all drafted them, so it's up to them. And their GM came out and said, "What do we even talk about? Aaron Rodgers will be back here." Well, else you'll know it'll be 32 teams right now trying to get Aaron Rodgers if he was a free agent.
Yeah. So he's under contract for the 22 season,
He getting paid
for the 23 season, and then he'll be a free agent 24. So he's still under contract for 2 more years.
But he just putting the pressure on them because they drafted a quarterback. Like, so y'all might pull the Rams. Y'all might trade. They pay golf. They trade him. Y'all might trade me because y'all just drafted a quarterback.
Well, he's not Aaron Goff.
Yeah, golf.
I'm just saying. I'm
Goff,
just saying that Matthew Stafford just got traded. I'm saying like he's saying y'all just drafted a quarterback. I don't know when y'all gonna go to him. When y'all drafted me, Favre knew he had a couple years left. Like either quarterback sit and wait for that to happen, or I'm Aaron Rodgers. Shit, if y'all in that mindset, if you even thinking about that shit, get me the fuck out of here. Tell me that I'm your quarterback. Like, he did that, and then the GM came out and said, what are we talking about? He's our quarterback. Yes, he's going to come back. Yes, he'll be here.
So you got that answer, yeah. As far as the performance aspect of the Green Bay Packers and their loss against the Bucs, like, what does that really put Green Bay? Are they a really true contender? Because we saw last year they lost. I mean, they lost bad last year against San Francisco in the NFC Championship. This year they lost. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it was some opportunities that they missed. Even Aaron Rodgers, that they felt like they could have capitalized on and potentially won that game. So what does it really put the Green Bay Packers in their pursuit to get in the championship?
Well, clearly contenders though. Like, we're not gonna pretend like they got blew out. It was just they made some bad decisions in critical situations, and it hurt them. But we're not gonna pretend as if like Green Bay very well could have won this game. So I mean, they're still contenders. You just lost the game.
I think they're in the prime of their contention years. So like, I think with that and Bakhtiari, so like him having Bakhtiari as his left tackle, like I feel like that's like your 1-2. Like if you left tackle your quarterback, like. Yeah, Tay right there. I got Tay out there, but my left tackle, that's the same kind of
Adams,
important.
you talking about,
yeah,
right?
Devontae Adams, but Bakhtiari was out, and he the best one in the league. You feel me? So like,
I was disappointed in that loss for Green Bay.
Yeah,
I felt like they had a great opportunity to win that game, and they really should have won that game, but they didn't. And
any plays did stupid shit. Kevin King got that against burnt.
Defensive coordinator playing man in that situation was a terrible decision. A lot of people harp on that play, third down, when Aaron Rodgers had the opportunity to potentially run into the end zone, but he threw it. Mm-hmm. And then the next play they harp on Matt LaFleur not giving Aaron Rodgers an opportunity to go for it on 4th and goal. Yeah. You roll your eyes at that one, Billy.
Good. They still would have been down 8. I mean, they would have had to get 8, so then they had to get the 2 point. You tied, and you still doing the same thing.
But Aaron Rodgers kind of, in his press conference that you mentioned, he was like, it wasn't my decision. Like, he was like, I feel like I needed that. You need to give me that opportunity. Like, it's your best player. Like, are you going to win? Yeah. Or you got to win and die with your best players in the playoffs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he felt like he should have got that opportunity.
I get that. But this is decisions as a coach that you got to make in that game. And, like, I agree that way. Like, but people was acting like that shit was like the decision maker. Like, it's still the same thing you don't want to happen is going to happen anyway. You got to get Tom Brady the ball with the game online. So then he just had to come down and get 3.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. So, like, but I agree since it's that like that. But people was trying to act like that was the worst decision in the world. Like, that's the reason. That wasn't the reason they lost the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still had to stop Tom Brady.
I think it solidified the reason they lost the game. Because, I mean, if you don't convert in that situation, it works as a great punt. Like, Tom Brady would have been pinned inside the 10. And you know he wasn't going to be super aggressive and risk, like, a safety or no shit like that. Like, you had no reason to punt. I mean, you had no reason to kick the fucking field goal and give him more space to work with. Because it makes it a little easier. It's a lot. The play calling going to be a lot different in that situation. And if Aaron Rodgers don't get it, cool. But like you say, you still down 8. You still got to score. You're going to have to get in the end zone, regardless.
Yeah. My thing, they couldn't stop the run, though.
If you go, at some point, you're going to have to. If you can't get a stop, either way, you're still going to lose. Kicking the field goal, if you don't get a stop, you still lose.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, well, Bucks won, so they're in the Super Bowl. Kansas City beat the Bills, so they're in the Super Bowl. Who y'all think gonna win the Super Bowl?
Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs gonna win too. It's definitely theirs to lose.
I think it ain't gonna even be.
Oh, I do. The only reason I feel like it is because both their tackles out.
That's fair. Seeing Tom Brady throw, like,
Same thing.
them picks Tom Brady threw, them things were bad.
They were.
And if he do that against them,
Threw 3 picks in the second
they gonna
half.
run away with it. You throw 3 picks against the Chiefs, they might fuck around and score on one of them anyway. But
And that was another thing that Green Bay was struggling with. They couldn't capitalize off them turnovers like they should.
Could not.
That was Aaron Rodgers.
yeah,
But speaking to
JPP then was on their ass. We're going to give a little credit, too. We ain't just going to. They was on that ass.
yeah.
And Vita, it wasn't no run. They just got Vita V back up the middle, too. So the run was already cut out. Them folks don't allow nothing with that full front together. So Chiefs going to have to deal with that with 2 bad hook tackles. But I'm still going to go Chiefs. But it ain't going to be no blowout.
What's the main reason why you going Chiefs?
I mean, Mahomes just crazy. Then you got Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill. Them 3 unique talents on the same squad. You feel me? Like that could be 3 generational players at each position. Like, I get it. It's a stretch with a couple of them, but like Travis Kelce generation, Patrick Mahomes generation, Tyreek Hill got more to do to be like that in the receiver realm. But just as a dynamic player, I can see him doing some shit like that. It's just
player, that's key
different
word.
When he touch the ball and take off. Like it's different from anybody in the league. Like it's just another level. So, but then you got Travis Kelce, like. That's different at tight end, like to be able to do all that he can do. Like,
and then you got Patrick Mahomes.
Then you got
quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes.
It's different because we were talking about the most talented quarterback you ever seen throw the football being Aaron Rodgers, but when we saw
Mahomes, I take
he
Mahomes.
usurped that
all day.
I take Mahomes. That's what I'm saying on that time, on that tip. I take Mahomes then. So then Mahomes to go, and y'all. And to me, if you gonna say Aaron to go, I'm gonna say Mahomes gonna be the GOAT real soon.
Yeah.
And hell no, he the GOAT. Hell, he the GOAT. I take Patrick Mahomes' career right now over Aaron Rodgers' career right now.
If he repeat 100%.
Right now. And listen, I mean, if it's dead and they off the clip, yeah. But I'm saying right now, I take Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like he got the same amount of chips. You feel me? Got an MVP.
Is Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, you got an MVP. You feel me? Like, so what? It's just my numbers need to accumulate. Well, you ain't counting that against nobody else. There's a bunch of folks you need to accumulate past that y'all already saying he passed. So give me Mahomes.
Speaking of quarterbacks, it's a lot of potential. Well, you already talked about the trade. The Rams traded for Matthew Stafford, traded Jared Goff. So Matthew Stafford is the quarterback for the Rams now. Jared Goff got shipped to the Lions. Boy. After that season ended, and they were talking to McVay, they were talking to the GM, they were not behind Goff. And it played out that way as well. They were talking about potentially the Bears and the Panthers trading for Matthew Stafford, and then out of nowhere we saw the Rams, Stafford coming to L.A. We need that.
Poked their head a couple days ago and finished it off.
Man. How does Jared Goff feel right now?
Like
you got to deal with it.
Like he paid.
Yeah, exactly.
He got paid.
You got paid, man.
I mean, I wouldn't want to go to a situation. Hell, if they talking about you battling it out for, they was still, he wasn't going to be, it wasn't guaranteed he was going to beat other buddy out.
They were talking about him bad.
Wofford.
Yeah. So, shit, the line's going to start you. Lions gonna start. At least you keep a starting job.
Do y'all like Matthew Stafford going to the Rams?
I like it. I don't love it.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't love it either.
I like it though.
You think it's an upgrade from Jared Goff?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. It's gonna be a different style of play for him.
With Matthew?
Yeah. Like they play action, like with Jared Goff is still a little more mobile than Matthew Stafford. So they play action dies with Matthew Stafford.
He got a little different. I mean, it ain't much, but I give him that. But like, it's different on arm talent, like how he can the slots he can get into and throw with velocity.
They ain't got no receivers who getting. I don't know. Like for me, they offense just.
I'm talking
about to hit them on the slants and the dinks and dunks to like chop up a zone. Like they gonna sit in them and he gonna be able to get it over a guy and under a guy.
But Matthew Stafford
or throw picks.
Will throw picks and he likes to go deep too. So they do need a receiver to accommodate that aspect of Matthew Stafford's game. And I feel you on that. They don't really have a receiver to go over the top right now in the Rams.
They don't have really no.
That's an easy
serious offensive weapons at all, really. They really don't have no.
Cooper Kupp and Robert Wood.
That's it.
That's good too. And then they got the tight ends, Higbee and Everett.
Go look at all their numbers. Like
I'm talking
Cooper
about
Kupp
numbers.
struggled Higbee after week 4.
I think Matthew Stafford can do something with that. The Lions ain't have. I mean,
they need to really solidify their running game a little bit more. That's what I think. Because you talk about the play action aspect of it, they need to figure out a running back situation where they can utilize that play.
They had more talent like that than the Lions had
on offense.
Yes,
that's fine, but
yeah,
I mean that's not.
They do have Cam Akers, and he was looking promising in the second half.
He struggled at the beginning,
but I mean, just the Rams are a part of this movement that we're seeing with the quarterbacks this offseason, or potentially what we think we're going to see. So we're in a space in the NFL where they're kind of getting into that NBA realm where so the players in the NFL that really matter like the players in the NBA when you talk about the stars, it's the quarterback position in the NFL. They really the ones who can kind of have the same influence as an NBA star, I feel like, in that league. So what we're seeing this offseason, or what we're potentially seeing, is a lot of quarterback movement this offseason in the NFL. We already saw it with the Rams and the Lions trade. We're expecting the trade for Deshaun Watson to get out of Houston to go somewhere because he's expressed and he's formally expressed that he wants to trade to get out of there because the Texans are a shit show right now. You talk about Carson Wentz, potentially. You talk about Phillip Rivers' return. You talk about Ben Roethlisberger, his situation. It's just a lot of things going on in that quarterback position that we can potentially see some movement going around because people are looking for their quarterback. It's a lot of teams. Quarterbacks getting old. They don't have a quarterback. Draft coming up. Trevor Lawrence. They don't believe in their quarterback. So people are looking for quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So what do y'all expect for all the teams like Miami, the Jets, the Falcons? Who else am I missing as far as just Panthers? Like, what do y'all expect as far? Do y'all think it's going to be really explosive like the NBA is in player movement with these quarterbacks?
No. NFL ain't that. NFL ain't never been that. When it comes to just players moving and just huge moves, it's rare.
I'm going 3 max.
Y'all think Deshaun going to get moved?
Yeah.
That's the biggest one. Yeah. Like, Deshaun is 25, 26 years old. In the prime of his career, just led the league in passing and passer rating.
It ain't a killer contract. I mean, it's a good QB contract, but it ain't the killer one.
Where do y'all see him going? Or what would be a good fit for him?
I mean, immediately think about the 49ers.
Absolutely.
I I mean, it's a lot of teams that.
Well, he put on his list. He said the Jets on this list. He said Miami's on this list.
Man, I ain't listening to that.
Miami shouldn't be in the market for a quarterback right now.
And I don't see him putting the Jets.
Nah, I don't either. Why would you willingly go to the Jets?
New York?
I mean, but they ownership. You got to beef with your ownership now. They the ownership known for being terrible.
Horrible. And their new coach don't look like he.
They ownership known for being terrible. Why would they?
Saleh?
Yeah,
you don't like Saleh?
He don't look like. Do you?
I mean, I'm cool with Saleh. I'm cool with Saleh, but the ownership, it started at the top. That's what his beef with is now. Even that coach they brought in, like, bruh could be cool. Like, they brought in somebody that could be cool, player coach. But this shit bigger than you. Like, I'm not giving you a chance because I seen how them folks is.
I get
you
that.
Don't even know
I get
how
that
to
aspect.
Secure your job is, brother.
I get that aspect. The ownership is really what dictates what's going on. And his beef is strictly with ownership and what they got going on in Houston, Texas. Even J.J. Watt saying, like, I'm out. I'm about to be out of Houston. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I'm looking at, like you mentioned, like, with the 49ers as the ultimate goal in, like.
49ers, Dolphins.
I can see definitely. I mean, you said you don't see why the Dolphins in it. Why you say that? Because of Tua?
Yeah, I don't feel like you
move off of Tua.
Yeah, like you ain't giving that a chance at all.
You wouldn't, like, if Deshaun Watson was available, you can get him, and you had Tua, you wouldn't explore that with Deshaun Watson. If you was
depending on what I got to give up for him, I'm assuming it's not gonna be cheap. So,
of course not.
Like, nah. I haven't, like I say, I don't feel that strongly about Deshaun Watson either. Ain't like Deshaun Watson done one shit.
I mean, statistically, if you look at him and look at his age, like, you Patrick Mahomes, but who after?
He's not that, though. We not putting him on Mahomes, though. He has
I'm talking about
MVP.
I said
he has no AFC championship.
I said after Patrick Mahomes. I didn't say. I said it's Patrick Mahomes, and then who else are you looking at?
You just got
in that age range.
I'm saying you
25 years old.
Lamar. Quarterbacks.
You think
Josh Allen? I'm just saying the names.
Y'all think Josh Allen and Lamar are better than Deshaun Watson?
I don't.
Okay.
Josh Allen is comparable to Deshaun based off of this season. Yes. Lamar depends on what you want. Lamar still had more success than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
When you look at just translating into wins.
Yeah.
And that's really the thing. Like, Matthew Stafford has all the numbers in the world, but Matthew Stafford ain't won shit. And that's really the thing with, like, a lot of these quarterbacks. Like, you got like people like Dan Marino. Like, these are quarterbacks who have all the numbers and accolades in the world, but when you look at if that's translating to wins, like, that's what I care more so about. And I feel like for Miami, like, Tua, when he came in the game, you could see that the offense looked different. They went on a winning streak. Like, you could just see the camaraderie and shit that goes on.
That was their defense.
I mean, the defense plays a good part of it, but the offense was making plays too. Like,
they were making plays when Fitzpatrick was in there.
That was like a couple of games. Like,
but Tua was in there managing that shit, like keeping it like, okay, defense, getting us in good positions and capitalizing off of that.
Fitzpatrick lost his job for a reason. Fitzpatrick didn't even get into that gig until Tua got hurt. And when Tua took over the job, like, the offense was looking better. People were like, yeah, it's a wrap for Fitzpatrick. Then he got hurt. And that's when they started doing the shit towards the end of the game. Like, so we not finna act like Tua was just fucking up. It wasn't just that.
My thing is with these QBs, some of these QBs, like, if you go to a terrible organization, it's hard to overcome. You be far as you want to be. It's only a few are chosen. Few can turn around any organization. But to go to a terrible organization, like, that shit's hard to overcome. And them folks making bad decisions out there. You never known the Lions to have a team where he's like, oh, this the year. It's just even just to make them good. Like, he made the Lions even, like, be able to be somebody you could put on TV again. Like, they was embarrassing for a minute. So to go to an organization with a McVay and something like that, like, that's a whole new opportunity to get to something that's, like, you ain't got to worry about. They just hired a coach talking about he going to bite kneecaps off. Like,
the Lions.
Lions head
you
coach,
see his press conference?
Man, Campbell, yeah.
So you're going to knock us down, we're going to get up every time after you knock us down, we're going to bite your kneecap off.
Yeah, before we get up, we're going to take a chunk of your kneecap.
Man, Campbell.
But I'm just playing. You got that dude on this head coach, that dude on this little name tag when you go in his office.
We ain't talking about Stafford, though. We talking about Deshaun.
Yeah, let's talk about Deshaun.
But Deshaun, though. Deshaun, the Texans, terrible organization. That boy won in college. Ain't like we ain't seen him win on the big stage. He won in college. NFL, he done carried them to some things, and we done seen him mess up on the big stage, too.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, shit, he had a 24 lead on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He had a lead on the Chiefs. Defense couldn't hold it. Ain't like he didn't score like over 30 against the
We
Chiefs.
put that on the quarterback, too. Come on now. They put it on Matt, too. So
you copy
got to put it on Deshaun, too.
If you blow a 24-point lead, that means your offense ain't scope.
That's what they mean, too.
Absolutely.
And you talking about, especially in this conversation. So I get it. But I'm saying, like, after him, I got Deshaun. After that, man, them A-Rod, them Brady, they above. But like,
no, I'm talking about
in that middle.
We're not talking about the older quarterbacks. I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes, and then who else when you talk about the younger quarterbacks?
I just named a few of them for you.
You said Josh Allen. You said Lamar.
Dak when he healthy.
Okay, you got Dak. You got Dak over Deshaun.
Comparable.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to play that game. I don't. I don't. What I'm just saying
it's
is
a game.
Shout out to Phillip Rivers. He retired. He thought it was going to be different with the Colts, but it was the same shit.
It was his fault.
Quarterback movement.
His fault. Let's see where they go.
Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
Hell no.
I'm not putting him in.
He better not make the Hall of Fame.
He better not make the Hall of Fame. That's what I feel like.
It's a good competitor, but I'm not putting him in.
He better not make the Hall of Fame.
I don't see what his.
Yeah, I'll put Eli in before Phillip Rivers.
Eli deserves to be. Eli deserves to be.
I'm not saying Eli deserves, but if you talking about who I'm gonna put in, I'll put in Eli before Phillip.
If Tom Brady to go, Eli deserves to be in.
I can see that. I hate it, but I can see that.
I hate it too, bro.
But I can see that. He broke it up. They the one. What, how many straight? He broke it up twice.
He did, bro. We needed Eli.
I mean, that D-line was going crazy. That's the thing. He getting the quarterback talk.
But
This
Eli
shit
was
bullshit, man. He making plays, but how he get that win, man? That D-line was dominating.
Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck.
Them folks was going crazy. They was the face.
JPP.
Yeah.
But we give it to the quarterbacks.
That's how it's set up, man. That's how it's set up.
It's
shit. You shitting on running backs. Quarterbacks glorified.
Man,
That's why
neither
we talking
one getting
about
in. Well, I'm going neither one. Neither one getting in.
Yeah,
my
neither
book.
one getting in. No shit. They better not get in.
Eli just ain't have enough good, consistent, good top tier. He was never the best in the league, man. He was always about.
And that's the same thing with Aaron.
5 and below.
Phillip Rivers. He never was best in the league either.
Even Phillip though, but Phillip ain't win. Phillip had some years where he was a top 3 quarterback.
Talking about statistically.
Yes. I mean, you can't measure the wins like that because the defense is a go win a game, and the quarterback that you supposed to win might even make the playoffs because
So
the rest of the team ain't trash.
We picking and choosing how we gonna give quarterbacks credit. They get all the credit.
I mean, it's
right?
a full analysis. You got to go full analysis on it. If you're talking to me, I'm not gonna give you no cheat answer. We can move on me.
Yeah, we can move on because I just wanted to bring that up. So football, everybody got the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Y'all want any Super Bowl analysis? Y'all think it was gonna play out?
I gave mine. I think the Chiefs gonna blow them out.
Damn, you don't think it's gonna be a blowout?
Straight up.
I told you. Watch out for that O-line. I think that boy Devin White is for real. He been one of the best defensive players I done seen play this shit. Like that boy flying across the field and he going crazy. And they gonna be able to stop the run. So Le'Veon come back. Edwards he working his way back. But like if they stop the run, they go all pass and they can't block P.F. Paul and all them boys. Like I can see it becoming a problem.
I can see it being a game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout because even with the Chiefs' run so far this year, it hasn't necessarily been a blowout for the first half. It's been competitive, and I think the Bucs are a good enough team to keep it competitive even after the first half, where usually the Chiefs get their stride and they just go, go on people, but I don't think it's gonna be a blowout though. Because if you talking about a blowout, that means they gonna be dominating throughout the whole game, and I don't see that.
Just like they did in San Francisco, dominate.
Hey,
All right,
looking at a dynasty.
We're gonna see.
Might be.
I did want to shout out Aja Wilson, WNBA player. She got a statue in front of the University of South Carolina. And she just kind of they had a ceremony for her. They revealed the statue. That's big. Like, first of all, female basketball player getting a statue, WNBA player, like, that's in front of South Carolina. She even spoke to it. Like, she said on their grounds, like her grandmother had to walk around the grounds that South Carolina is on to get to, her job or whatever. She couldn't even walk through it. And for her to have a statue on that campus, like, that's tremendous. So shout out to her. That just speaks to the player that she is, what she's accomplished in that history, to be able to be honored in that way. That's tremendous to me.
I mean, she went crazy. I mean, she won the NCAA championship, won the most outstanding player. You feel me? Like the WNBA MVP, 2-time All-Star. You feel me? Like,
yeah,
legendary. I mean, she going crazy.
Absolutely, man. So
Salute.
big ups to her. Shout out to her.
Salute.
Let's get in the plug of the week. Not the plug of the week. I'm sorry. I'm messing up. We get into the stat of the week.
The stat.
Stat of the week. We all know C-Power loves numbers, and numbers never lie. Get a number and fact from C-Power that you can't deny.
All right. So stat of the week today, we're going to keep it on the basketball tip. 25-60. Steph Curry just recently passed Reggie Miller's record as number 2 all-time three-pointers. And that's what the number was, 25-60. You just look at the number of years that Steph Curry has done it in. It's just the NBA has changed.
Definitely has changed.
And I really want to point it out is because when Steph Curry came into the league, like, at Davidson, I was like, he's going to be maybe. I didn't think he was going to be this. Like, Steph Curry is the best shooter that I've ever seen. And I mean, it's just going to be exciting to see him chase Ray Allen at 29-73. But just the volume of threes that he shoots, where he can shoot them from, off the dribble, catch and shoot. It's like
Very versatile.
it doesn't matter. Like, he's
Special.
pure shooter. So, I mean, shout out to Steph, man. Shout out to Steph.
Definitely the greatest shooter I ever seen as well. Just in the way he can get off his shot and from anywhere. Like, we never seen that. And to the point where he's influenced and actually changed the game. Till you have people like Trae Young, even LeBron pulling up from the logo, because that, like, prevalent right now, Steph Curry, you say Damian Leonard. You know what I'm saying? Who are doing it like that as far as just what they can do with the three.
Yeah, Dame might be the deadliest out there right now. I mean, of course, Steph, but Dame right now butts heads with him.
Yeah. But when you talk about
percentage wise, he be up there too from
But
that.
when you talk about a historical aspect, is what C-Power mentioned. Like, it's gonna be hard for people to kind of do what Steph is doing right now. Because I think if it's Steph, say, healthy and continue to do on what do, he's gonna catch and surpass Ray Allen, in my opinion, because it's just a different era. And it's going to be hard for somebody to catch whatever Steph ends up with, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I think that's one. So, shout out to Stephen Curry.
I think they're going to hawk him.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
That's tough, man. Like, Steph be having games where he might hit 7-8 threes in a game, and that shit is just crazy.
Like 3 or 4 times a year, that's hard to do.
It is. But they let them boys shoot now.
They do.
You still got to hit them, though.
You do. And, I mean, Trey just hit 400, the quickest ever to hit 400. He came out busting like that. You feel me? Because Steph created this. Steph had to wait 3-4 years before it really got to cracking like that.
That's true.
he came out busting like that. So that helped any regards into that.
Trey got to win too, though.
Oh.
That's the thing, though. I think like once you start putting Trey on winning teams, then that's gonna impact them numbers too.
I mean, right now they 500 ball club.
They don't went on a streak.
Yeah, they're 500 ball club.
I'm just saying on his journey to 400,
Yeah,
they've been on bad teams, which means you've been able to just jack them shits up.
I get you.
Yeah. Speaking of the NBA though, man, we're getting, past the quarter mark of the NBA season. The season was cut to 72 games, so I think we into the second quarter of the season, filling out teams, seeing what's going on with different teams or who we project to make the playoffs, EVP races, making a campaign for different players. There's a lot going on right now. Trades. You talk about a trade that happened that we spoke about with James Harden going to the Nets. What's going to be the effect around the league of that? I've just been looking at the standings too. Like last year, I saw it on, I forgot what network I saw it on, but they were talking about at the quarter mark last year when they looked at the teams who were in the playoff picture right at the quarter mark, ended up in the playoffs at the end of the season. So I wanted us to kind of look at who's in that playoff picture right now and ask the question, who do we feel like will be there, or who are the teams that we feel like might fall off the playoff picture towards the end of the season that's actually in there right now. And I'm talking about the East and the West. So I'm looking at the East and the West, what we got and what teams are in there right now. So if you look at the East, let's start with the East. I like to start with the East because you got Philadelphia at the top. You got the Brooklyn Nets, who were closer to the bottom, but they in second place right now. So you got Brooklyn Nets, Milwaukee, Indiana Pacers, Boston Celtics, the Atlanta Hawks that was just mentioned, Cleveland, and Charlotte. Ooh.
I already see one.
New York was in that playoff rate, but Charlotte in the 8th spot now. So
they got the same down record.
They do, but I guess they beat them or they have a better home. I don't know how they do it.
It's early.
It's early, but like I said, last year you looked at the quarter mark and you saw the teams where most of those teams made it. So out of those 8 teams that I named for the East, who do you think are most likely to fall out of that playoff picture?
Cavaliers.
So you like Charlotte to make the playoffs?
I mean, if I'm picking one that's gonna fall out, I would say the Cavaliers fall out before Charlotte. Yeah. I think once they solidify they roster, like we seeing they figuring stuff out. Versus like with Cleveland, I don't believe it. I don't.
Have you seen Cleveland play?
Seen a few games.
You don't believe it?
No. They beat Brooklyn twice. You think do you think they better than Brooklyn? No.
No, I don't think they're better than Brooklyn. But I did see them play, and I see that they do have somebody who's kind of figuring out some things. Well, who has, I think, figured out some things. Colin Sexton.
You're going to go stats, too, though.
Andre Drummond.
Their point differential is negative 4.4. Of all the teams, of your top 8, yeah. Charlotte is negative 1.1, but they negative 4. It's way.
Yeah. If you make me pick a team, I'm definitely going there.
Cleveland. I feel you. Knicks was in there before we had this conversation where I wanted to have the conversation, and they are already kind of out of the picture right now if you look at just from the record standpoint. So who you? That's why I'm leading to. Who you,
at this point, you can count them.
It's one game.
No.
That's the better question. Which one is the odd man out? The 3, because they get tired. So who the odd man out? The Knicks or the Hornets? The Knicks.
Man, I'm saying the Cavs are the odd man.
Okay, you saying the Cavs. Okay,
I can see the Knicks and the Hornets going.
You saying the Cavs out. Okay. And Corey, you saying the Cavs too. I'm saying the Cavs too. No, Cavs might. I'm gonna go the Knicks. I'm gonna go the Knicks. If we do that, I'm gonna go the Knicks. Knicks out.
Why the Knicks though? Because Julian Randle been balling.
He has been balling, but they still and now he balling. Now they talking about trading. They don't know what they want to do in New York.
And you got to remember Miami too. Miami very well could go on a run, and they can end up in the playoffs.
Win.
I'm just saying.
They need to hurry up, man. Look. It's a 72-game season. Like they better start winning soon.
They only have a game and a half.
All this Bam talk I've been hearing, Bam. They 7-12.
Bam balling.
They're 7-12.
What does it lead to?
It ain't dubs.
Look, when you losing to somebody ball, maybe you need to tone down, get to somebody else. I'm just playing.
Jimmy Butler has been out, man. We gotta say that. Jimmy Butler has been out, and then also too
carrying them.
Every day.
What dragging them.
Points, rebounds, assists.
Bam needs the man. Bam needs the man to trade. Bam needs the man to trade. Don't carry y'all folks.
Well, balling, man.
But the Heat were one of the last teams left in the bubble because they played the Lakers. So we seeing that that's part of it too. I feel like that's part of it. That's affecting them.
Yeah,
because it's affecting Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
He gave it all he had.
Yeah, they're gonna have to grind down the stretch. That's gonna matter when it comes to the playoffs too, because you had to grind down the stretch. We was kicking.
Yeah, they could make a run.
Yeah, I think so.
They can make a run.
So 2 gonna have to fall out.
Well, they had to play in.
Okay.
But
it'd get interesting.
I think too. I look at this. I look at the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know about them.
I think this is gonna be different than last year. I think it's gonna shake up.
And shout out to Gordon Hayward because niggas was shitting on him and that whole sign that he's been balling.
Yeah,
gotta take my hat off to him.
I took a lot of slack for Gordon Hayward. I gave up though. I ain't gonna act like I didn't. Gave up at one point, but I've been catching hell from Gordon Hayward since Utah. He's been balling, man. He's been one of the reasons why they've been.
From Corey. He's been one of the reasons why they've been winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some dynamic players on that team. And
who Melo boned on?
Who was that? Sabonis.
Off a putback.
Still boned on him.
Still definitely.
Better watch your head. When I'm around, better watch your head. Timed it. First I thought it was within the rim, but it came off.
Yeah.
Then he stared him down.
Yeah, and talked. What up? Yeah. Hey.
He might get Rick
Yeah. He definitely followed. They show us highlights like he Ricky.
They do.
Them passes.
Yeah. Wiseman heating up a little bit. Then you got the Halliburton buddy. He was balling for a minute, but then I think he got COVID or he got hurt one.
Anthony Edwards.
He heating up.
Yeah, he heating up.
I like Halliburton. Halliburton look good. I like the way he played too.
Yeah, like Halliburton. He looked like y'all remember Martin, the shooter who used to play for OKC. He had that weird shot.
Kevin Martin.
Yeah, I remember him.
Rockets.
He kind of looked like him. I mean, not the game, but I'm just talking about. He looked like him.
A little bit.
I used to rain with that boy on the game.
What? I used to go in with OKC. Durant.
I used to run with him on that when he was on that Rockets team.
Oh, he was on that Rockets team. Yeah, that used to be my go-to team with OKC with Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant. Ooh, deadly.
I want to play the game now with them three on the same team.
Who?
Durant, Kyrie, and Harden.
It's there.
That's cheap. On the game, that's cheap.
Yeah, it is cheap.
It can be beat. Trust me.
On the game?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it can be beat.
Oh, you've been on it.
It can be beat. It's been beat.
It's been beat.
Yeah,
with the Spurs.
Nah, I ain't like that with 2K no more.
Oh, who your team on 2K?
I done beat the Nets with the Lakers. I don't necessarily have a team per se. I just match up with it. So,
okay.
Yeah,
so if somebody picked the Nets.
So you gotta pick a team up front. But realistically, if I know I'm in that tier, I'm only gonna pick a team that I'm expecting people to pick the Nets.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like Milwaukee. I beat a lot of people ass with Milwaukee just because when you playing somebody with the Nets, I'm gonna put Giannis. Okay,
Why does that happen in real life? Why that don't happen in real life? Why does Giannis doesn't check KD in real life?
I don't know what they be doing, trying to preserve him. And then they don't even switch it up when it's game time. So it's like, what are y'all doing?
What is Coach Bud doing?
I don't know, man.
He trying to get fired, right?
Probably.
I don't know.
It would seem like.
You done seen enough.
Because Giannis was like, if Coach tell me to do it, I do it. I don't tell Coach what I do. He tell me what I do. And that's how it's happened. MVP 2 times. That's how it works. West. When you look at the West and you look at the top teams, you got Utah, you got the Clippers, you got the Lakers, Denver, Memphis, Phoenix, Portland, Spurs, and Golden State right there at 9. Here we go. Who do y'all think out of that top 8 that I just named are going to fall out and not make the playoffs?
Portland.
Spurs.
So if you took off, you a Spurs. Everybody knows the C-Power Spurs, man. You really think Portland versus the Spurs?
No, I think it's similar to be 100%. It's a situation similar to the East. Like, I don't think Portland or Spurs are going to stay. Y'all know how I feel about Portland. But I do feel like Houston offense is starting to gel, and they starting to figure shit out. And Oladipo he's starting to look like Oladipo. Like, you can see he enjoying playing over there. And just if they continue to just hoop like this.
John Wall been playing.
John Wall been hooping. Christian Wood been hooping.
Them two talking about how like they want both of them like to play defense.
Who?
Wall and Oladipo.
And that help as well. So you got
That's what you need.
they team just Houston look good to me. Like I feel like they're gonna be in the playoffs, and I also feel like the Mavericks gonna figure it out. Like Luka, they done lost 5 straight.
I was about to ask y'all about your boy.
They struggling right now. But I do think like they gonna figure it out. KP done came back. Like Porzingis back, so now you gotta figure that out.
Big figure that 5 straight.
Yeah, they lost
5 straight is not
But
good.
that boy say we suck right now.
Yeah.
For them to taste it, we suck right now.
But I guess it gets to a point now where offensively Luka is shown like what he can do. But you talk about on the defensive end when you kind of see where they failing, him stepping up a little bit more. Somebody needs to take that mantle and really drive that point so they can get back to where they want to be, and that's in the playoff picture. For Dallas, I think that's their biggest thing. And then, of course, offensively, too, like you said, KP just came back, Kristaps Porzingis, and, they're going to make sure that offense is flowing correctly. But I think they'll get the offensive end right. That defense is great. And, you look at Luka numbers, he balling.
Yes.
27, 9, 9.
Almost averaging triple double.
You know what I'm saying? We had a bet on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Stay right at them numbers.
I think
He can stay right at them numbers.
I think I agree with you though, C Power. I see San Antonio and Portland really dropping off just because Portland, like, they got CJ hurt and Nurkic is hurt as well. So that's two of their top 3 players hurt. And they ain't gonna have to carry it or whatever, and you see we can figure out with that. But Golden State is right there, and I think Golden State is gonna make the playoffs. They better make the playoffs. How about that? I think they're gonna make the playoffs though. Steph Curry.
I think they is too. They got that boy. They got that boy Weird playing defense this year.
He playing defense.
Playing defense.
All right, now go ahead. And Wiseman is showing promise as well. They all every time they talk about Wiseman, they talk about Draymond being in his ear, and that shit funny as hell.
I just want to see Draymond play again. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, this not y'all just kicking it on the bench. Like, bro, y'all competitors. Like, y'all two supposed to be something.
So if I had to pick between the other 2 teams, I see Dallas like figuring it out and getting back to the playoff picture. So, like I know you talked about Houston, but I think Dallas would do that. Beasley, you really ain't said who you like.
I like the Suns staying where they at. I like all that.
Oh yeah.
Our Suns all the way up. Then I like the Rockets and Warriors. Rockets and Warriors. No. I like the Warriors. Ooh. How long CJ them out? I'm gonna go Rockets. Yeah. So you can kick Dallas, you can kick Dallas, and you can kick the
Kings.
Yeah, the Thunder.
I mean, the Thunder ain't really.
And I mean, they right there, and the Spurs.
The Grizzlies can fall out too. Grizzlies done won 6 straight. Like, it's kind of.
And also, too, you got to take into consideration because teams have missed games.
Yeah, and all that.
Yeah,
bunch of games.
So that's why it's kind of because you're looking at the Grizzlies, you see their record, they 8-6, but they don't miss a whole bunch of games. And you got people who won't play more games than them that's under them. So it's weird. I don't know how that's
Jaren Jackson coming back too, though.
That's gonna help.
That's definitely gonna help. Ooh. I like Memphis staying in that picture. Then
that's what I'm trying to
if he coming back, cause they been consistent without him.
I'm keeping him.
What was he doing before the injury?
He been hurt all year. He got hurt in the bubble.
So
he
got hurt in the bubble.
Yeah. And that's defense and scoring.
They had that boy in the interview. That boy was trying to do the interview. He was just calling out the coverages, watching the game. Like, drop back. Oh, damn. I'm reading the coverage. My bad. What you say?
Oh, dang.
Watching the game. Like, I'm like, oh, he died there.
He ready to get back out there, man. Yeah, but boys want to play, man. Mm-hmm. That long break that they had, when you talk about when COVID first hit, then getting back into the bubble, and then they had a short time, and people who got hurt in the bubble, you know, they haven't been able to get back and get on the court because of that short off season. So that's good to see. Mm-hmm. That's promising. You want to see that with your young star, him, Ja Morant, that's going to be the face of their franchise for years to come. So you definitely want to see that. You want to see him being locked in, and when he come back, you want to keep that ball rolling, man. Because Ja came back earlier than expected. I like that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I wasn't the biggest Ja Morant fan, but seeing him come back and seeing his impact, I like that. Like, he's definitely an impact player. Like, people better watch out because he might surpass some people when you talk about. Ain't even looking at the All-Star game. Because we got some people really balling. We were talking about Jaylen Brown earlier. Mm-hmm. I know they played the Lakers tonight and the Lakers won, but Jaylen Brown is really, like, he's putting himself up there where he averaging 27 and he could potentially get most improved with the jump that you're talking about. And maybe potentially the way he's been playing, I feel like he's been the best player on the Boston Celtics this year. And if they stay in like the top 4, that's top. You talking about MVP consideration?
Jaylen.
Yeah, they been. What's their record though?
Marietta.
I don't feel like they've been winning like that though.
They fifth in the East. They fifth in the East right now. They 10-8.
Okay.
So they 2 games away from the leaders.
3 games behind the top seed.
The win,
yeah.
14-6 and 10-8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He been hooping.
Yeah, he definitely an All-Star this year.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal, All-Star.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I was trying to cue you up. Sure. That's what you going? You ain't going, yes.
Man, I don't care about getting numbers on bad teams, man. They are 3-12.
They are 3-12, but he's giving all that he's had.
Somebody got to score.
It's Russ, man. You got to blame Russ, man.
Russ is disappearing before our eyes.
Woo,
man.
boy, like some cotton candy, to water. You ever put cotton candy in water? That shit dissolve quick, don't it? Whoa! I used to fuck with Russ, man. Man,
that's the worst shit you can ever hear.
Wait, what's the worst? I used to fuck with Russ. I used to fuck with Russ, man, and it's just been. I stopped fucking with Russ like maybe a few years ago, but
I don't never want nobody to say that.
But man,
I used to fuck with him. But man, he's all right now.
Man,
I can't get with
man. It's like you said, he's disappearing before our eyes, and it's it's sad because the type of player they is. You saw he got into it with John Wall, and John Wall beat their ass. It was like, he's going to get into situations like that on the court, and for him, his talent to be diminishing like it is, it's just bad for a certain person like him. It is, it really is, because he's going to put himself out there like that. You know what I'm saying? He's going to put himself in bad situations where it's like, hold on now. You talking all this big shit. What are you doing right now? You failing.
Oh, man.
They treated him like Giannis, though. They take that three.
Yeah.
But the
Ben Simmons.
Man got as many points as he got attempts, right?
Yes.
Man. Earlier this week.
That's terrible.
Earlier this week, we looked up the numbers.
Statman.
Earlier this week, we looked up the numbers. He had 163 attempts from the field. And his point total was 163 points.
That's terrible. That's your number 2.
Blessings to Rush, man. Whatever he got going on, hopefully figure it out, man. Blessings to Rush.
He did have COVID. He caught COVID. He caught COVID before the bubble. So we saw Cam. He caught COVID. He wasn't the same. No 3 games in the beginning of the season. He was looking, oh shit, Cam might be on a mission, and then he caught COVID, and Cam like he was on a mission to the junkyard. So I don't know what it is either. We was talking about the twins last year. Like, it's stressful. Y'all have babies, so y'all know how it can affect you. And then to have twins, we thought that was a big issue, but I don't know what it is now with Russ, man. I guess the biggest story is Bradley Beal. And what's going to happen with him. Is he going to get dealt before the trading deadline? And I'm going to ask y'all again, like I asked y'all about Harden, and put on y'all thinking caps for this one because, we see how it moves quickly. Because when we talked about Harden, we didn't think he was going to get traded in the season. We talked about after the season, but you saw that shit escalated quickly. Bradley Beal, what do y'all think is going to happen with him? Y'all think he's going to be a Washington Wizard when the playoffs start?
No.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know.
Somebody thought about it.
I don't know. I don't.
No.
Before the trade deadline, or you think he getting dealt?
Yeah, I think he going. Yeah, they ain't gonna sit him through that.
See, pal, what you think,
folks
man?
what they want in the NBA now.
If he asks for it, but if Bradley Beal don't ask for it, he could. He could be there.
Yeah, Bradley Beal need to ask for it, man.
You seen his body language lately?
That ain't enough.
All right.
I'm just saying.
He looking like that and shit. Like he looking around like what's going on.
It's just game 15. It's just game 15.
And then, not to take him off the hook because he signed up for it. He signed the contract. He had the option not to sign it, but
That's
he
fine.
signed it. And he was talking.
The way the NBA is, man, that's you get your money and you just demand a trade out of it.
And he talked all that talk. I want to be in Washington. I want to do it. I want to be the man. He's like, I want to be here. He's been saying all that. So if he really wants, his body language showing that he want to move, and he gonna have to vocalize that.
Well, he just got the blueprint.
There's a way.
He just got the blueprint.
I gotta do. Hey man, this nigga Russ is trash. I don't even know why you brought him over here.
Harden did the same thing. Just started pouting about it. They'll figure it out.
That'd be must see TV. If you just start shitting on Russ every time he misses a shot.
No, I ain't gotta do it at Russ. He gonna do it at management. Get me out of here. Like, this over with. Rebuild. Y'all got to.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah. So we still paying attention to the NBA, so we figuring out what's going on. I got a conclusion, and then we gonna get it out.
Corey's conclusions. We have arrived at a conclusion, and it's time for Corey's closing message.
Corey's conclusions. So we're in the beginning of 2021. Time is moving. Things are changing, man, and I think that's the biggest message that I'm getting out of January. Going into February, like time is flying as it always has. I guess when you turn to adult, that shit just go. But not only is it flying, like times are changing. So we gotta figure out how we're gonna move in these times. And it's getting tricky. The tricky hours, man, you know what I'm saying? So with the sports aspect, the music aspect, and then the entertainment aspect, everything is changing. We just talked about it. Streaming is at an all-time high. Movies are not getting, viewed as much as in theaters as it once was before COVID. Even music is getting affected with what we can do as far as putting it out, how you gonna tour on it, festivals. So you just gotta keep in mind, like, how can you maneuver in these times and what's your best path? And you gotta figure that out, man, and find it, cultivate it, and capitalize on it. Because if you don't figure it out, you'll get left behind and then you'll be stuck. So that's my conclusion. We're gonna wrap it up, man. This has been a great episode 103 of the Root Missions Podcast. Anything y'all want to say before we get out of here?
Mask up.
Hey. Well, I'm with bro. Mask up. For real. And keep 6 feet. Bad.
Yeah. You don't got to go everywhere. I've been at home, man. And when I do go out, I'm masked up. And, if you want to go out, go outside, man. Been outside today. Go outside. Like, I'm talking about just go out. I'm not talking about the outside that they call it now. I'm not talking about the club. They call the club outside. I'm talking about in nature. Nature is always beautiful. And by the way, folks, nature is getting away from us too. I look at all these nature documentaries and they telling us they had this much land of evergreen forests and rainforests and it's dwindled down to like 20% of what they had. I always talk about that. On top of all this racial injustice, economic bullshit that we deal with, then you got the nature aspect of it. We on a dying planet, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, man. Planet dying. And we gotta keep that in mind. Hey, you gotta do the shit, dude. I'm serious, bro. Planet dying, man. It is.
I believe in nature. Yeah, wipe all this shit out.
Yeah.
Make it back in nature.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. Shout out to the group people. Y'all keep staying tuned with us. We're gonna keep providing more content for y'all. And we're gonna do our thing, man. And we getting out of here. It's been Love, Group Message Podcast. We out.